What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be watching this video by Jack about how Fortnite is becoming Roblox. This is a comparison that gets made a lot. My understanding of Roblox is incredibly minuscule, but I think the idea is Fortnite has a bunch of different game modes, like how Roblox has a bunch of different game modes and is more of like a platform than a game. And that is something that Epic wants to do in the future. I think that Battle Royale is still far and away the game and the most important aspect of the game, and the aspect of the game that gets the most work from Fortnite. I assume that's something that will be talked about during this. As always, if you enjoy this, give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below what you think. I think the premise is like pretty inarguable. Fortnite is definitely trying to become a platform for more than just Battle Royale, and I think that's a good thing, even though Battle Royale is the only game mode I really care about.
Ever since Creative 2.0 launched within Fortnite last year, the game's focus has been more on expanding and creating more game modes rather than just being about Battle Royale. This was especially the case with the launch of Chapter 5, bringing us 3 new game modes that were all really exciting to play at the time. But as time passed on, these game modes would flop, suffering dramatic player count drops, all of them being over 90%, which isn't great.
I think since this video was made, we got the Lego kind of RP game mode. I think that's doing somewhat okay. I don't like pay attention to the player counts constantly, but also the Miku update, I feel like I've seen so many more people in Festival. But yeah, like those game modes can't really hold a candle to Battle Royale's popularity at all. And even Rocket Racing, I think, is no longer getting like future seasonal changes. Like they're kind of, you know, phasing that game mode out because it never got really that popular at all. Like it was usually under like 2K players, I want to say.
But now that we have gotten even more game modes with the launch of Chapter 6, this time around it really seems like Fortnite's vision of this metaverse is actually coming true. Whereas I would say Fortnite is turning into Roblox. You may disagree with this, but in this video I will go over my reasons as to why this is actually happening and whether I think this is actually a good idea or not. And with all that said, let's hop in.
I think it's fine even though I only care about Battle Royale. And then I don't know if he's going to talk about it. It doesn't seem like it. But Reload mode also came out, and that is a BR style mode, but Reload has been successful. Like I feel like it always has a good amount of players, and it has like its own community at this point. So just because some of them have failed, I don't think the concept is terrible, and I feel like Reload is like a good example of like a mode that can be successful. And then there's also been several creative maps that have popped up, like the Only Up game mode was popular for a while. There was like recently a Squid Games map that I saw getting like 50,000 players plus. A lot of these maps don't have the staying power. Like it's not like people are going to be playing Only Up 2 years from now or even today. It's been like a while since it was popular, but it's still like it doesn't hurt to have that and have, you know, a mode or a map that comes up and is like fun and exciting for a week or two. Like I don't know where the harm is in that. The way people seem to see it.
One little thing that you might not have remembered from Chapter 5 is that they introduced an age rating system. This made so that certain game modes had specific age ratings and restricted certain items from being in those game modes. So let's say...
This is something I don't care about at all. And I feel like people kind of go out of their way to care about it. Like they care more about the concept of being restricted than it actually impacting their game. But like I said, I only really care about Battle Royale. I've never contemplated playing a map that had an age rating. Like I've never even seen the screen.
Your skin has a grenade or a gun on it. Chances are you will not be able to use it in one of those other game modes that has a lower minimum age rating. This is of course very controversial, and I think absolutely nobody liked it at the time, although it is better now, since back then random skins that did not have anything vulgar could still be banned from certain game modes, which was really, really bad. But this...
I don't care. The thing that would maybe matter with this is like the argument that they're not going to keep making content that would be affected by those age ratings. Like they're not going to have more mature collabs. But I feel like, look at what we got for Fortnitemares last year. We got Saw and Leatherface, right? And we've had Michael Myers. Like I feel like the Halloween collabs have still been like very adult. So I don't think that it's just like they're never going to add any like more adult content to the game.
shows that they really want to diversify its audience, bring in more people from other ages, and I'd say
Like if someone makes a Hello Kitty Island Adventure map and I can't use my Michael Myers skin in there, it just doesn't matter to me because I was never going to play that map to begin with, you know? And if I really wanted to play that map, then I would just play that map with a different skin. Like it's not the end of the world.
See even more from that lower range age. And I see this as making Fortnite more kid-friendly, kind of like Roblox. And I know Fortnite has always been a kid's game, it's pretty damn obvious. But over the years, it feels like they've focused even more on kids, which I guess makes sense. And I see this as kind of capitalizing on Roblox's market, trying to get some of those players to join Fortnite to see the even greater potential Unreal Engine 5 and Creative has, which definitely is a smart move, as I think the audiences between Roblox and Fortnite have a lot of overlap, especially now with creative being such a big part of the game, having all sorts of random game modes, some of them being really good and others just being brain rot slop.
That's Squidward. This is not brain rot, that's handsome Squidward.
There's something for everyone, and this
that
is
might
exactly
be brain rot.
like Roblox.
Does that say Gyat? Yep.
You can find some really good shit on Roblox. There's certain game modes that I have had a lot of fun in, but then there's of course the random, absolutely garbage ones that have
I don't know why this matters. So like, hold on, let's go back to this.
This is exactly like Roblox. You can find some really good shit on Roblox. There's certain game modes that I have had a lot of fun
So there's good game modes and maps on Roblox that are enjoyable to play.
But then there's of course the random, absolutely garbage ones that have low effort and are just basically brain rot.
But there's also bad ones. So just play the good ones. Like if I go to McDonald's, I don't want the fish fillet sandwich. I never in my life want that. The fact that it's on the menu is not affecting me because I just don't get it. And that's kind of how I feel about these Fortnite game modes too. Like the fact that there's game modes, whether it's made by Epic or not, like the fact that there's maps out there that I don't care about, I just don't play them. And then we're all good.
As well. But I feel like that problem is not as big in Roblox as it is in Fortnite, and part of that might be because the moderation on Fortnite is not nearly as strong as Roblox, because we all know how strong the moderation is over there on Roblox. It's actually silly. You can type certain words that don't even have anything to do with a swear word or a slur, but it could still be censored. It's crazy. And now that we also have a text chat in Fortnite, it really starts to feel like this is becoming Roblox, but the next evolution for it. And I'm sure most people won't use the text chat.
I don't... Hold on.
It's kind of difficult to set up compared to Roblox, but it's there and some people will use it. Another reason
I thought they added it more for ballistic. I don't know why. To me, it doesn't matter, I guess. But I think in games like Valorant, people do like use the text chat more than like voice comms a lot. And then ballistic kind of coming out and trying to be a Valorant CS competitor. To me, I thought that's why they added it.
Reason as to why Fortnite is becoming Roblox is the monetization model of the game now. If you don't know,
I think the reason why Epic wants to make Fortnite a platform where any game can be present on Fortnite is to keep Fortnite alive long term. Battle Royale is still very successful and very popular, but 10, 15 years from now, it might not be. And so making Fortnite a place where any game can exist, I think is more like future proofing for the game. And then also you just capture different audiences of people. Like, I don't know enough about the other game modes to really know if they have their own communities and stuff, but I would imagine there's people that came in for like Lego Fortnite and they play exclusively Lego Fortnite. And if Lego Fortnite didn't exist, then they wouldn't be playing Fortnite. And I think Festival is kind of the same way. Even though it's not the most popular game mode, I think that it fills a niche and like gets people to play the game that maybe wouldn't be playing otherwise.
you make a creative map, chances are you can make a lot of money. This has created a bunch of YouTubers just spamming maps. Some of them can be really good and some of them can be really bad, but they do this because it's a lot of money. You can have just a couple hundred players on your map and you could make way more than the average American citizen makes each year. It's kind of silly. And once again, this is like
I don't know what the payouts are, but I think they went down.
Roblox gives you money whenever someone plays their game or spends money within that game. And let me just go on a little tangent here. And I'm kind of worried that Fortnite will take a different direction where they start adding microtransactions to these specific small creative maps. Like just imagine you're playing box fights and now you can spend 500 V-Bucks on a special weapon. Like just imagine how bad that will be. And I'm not
I think the fact that it's a free market, like anybody can play, anybody can make maps to my knowledge. And anybody can play what they want to play. If there's certain maps that are pay to win, I don't think people are going to gravitate towards that one. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But like the fact that there's Epic paying these creators, people will be incentivized to make something that like makes people happy. But I don't know.
Not entirely sure if I remember right, but I feel like this has been discussed by Epic at some point, potentially allowing these creators to have microtransactions within the maps, and I just believe that's a terrible idea, and I really hope they don't do that. But anyway, this monetization model might be a good thing for certain people, giving them an incentive to really push forward their map and update it and create a really good experience, but it also leads to a lot of people putting out absolute slop maps out there just to cash in on a lot of money. And I can't really blame them, you know, money is great. Who doesn't love money? But if Fortnite really
I'm not gonna lie. One of the most fun creative maps I've ever played was like some brain rot box fight map that my girlfriend wanted to play just to like see how dumb it was. And it was stupid. There was like a bunch of like superpowers, but it was fun to play. I don't want to play that every day, but like the 10-15 minutes we played was enjoyable.
Wants a similar experience to Roblox with all these other experiences, then they need to start moderating it better and adding more restrictions to these slop maps, because genuinely that's what most...
I think it was literally called brain rot box fights. There's like a Gale Lewis superpower. There was... I forget what else. I just remember Gale Lewis being in there. I think there was like a Skibbity toilet one.
It is. Because Roblox, while it is over-moderated...
It was like... sometime last year.
It does definitely have a better selection of game modes within that, and doesn't have nearly the same amount of slop as Fortnite does.
How long has Roblox been around, though? Like, it's never really been a game that was on my radar at all. It came out in 2006. I feel like that's cap. But either way, one of the reasons why there might be more development for Roblox maps is just because I think Roblox has been around longer than Fortnite kind of trying to become a platform. Like, I feel like the whole Creative 2.0 thing came out in 2023. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like these problems will just get ironed out. I think Roblox has been around a lot longer.
Of course, I'm not saying to remove the monetization from Fortnite entirely, but something needs to be done before all of creative is consumed by the brain rot monster. And my next point here is one I don't really see that talked about, and that's that Disney did buy a portion of Epic, and they will have their own sort of experience or game mode or whatever within Fortnite. And we don't know just how big this will be, but it's looking like it's going to be absolutely massive. I already know.
You know what else is massive?
What the comments are going to be like. And just
it's going to be what I just said.
Imagine all sorts of favorite characters you could find within that game mode and all sort of things you could do in there. Maybe it's going to be something like Disney World in real life. I don't know. This is of course...
I don't know anything about this Disney mode really. I don't think really anybody does, aside from the fact that one day it'll exist. If they add a Fortnite section of Disney World, I will 100% go. If I can go there and get Durburger, I will be there as soon as I can.
Of course, another part of their whole focus on this metaverse sort of Roblox idea that will expand the game even further beyond Battle Royale and all that. But as of now, there's not much information about it. I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere that this will release sometime in 2026, so we still have like 2 years until then, which is a long time, but this could be something really, really big. And of course, we've seen...
I don't like what I just saw here.
Until then, which is a long time, but this could be something...
I just took damage seeing Avatar. Never bring back the waterbending.
Really, really big. And of course, we've seen a lot of collaborations from all sorts of companies. We've seen Nike, Adidas, DC, Marvel, and honestly, they might even pay Fortnite to create their own game mode as a part of this metaverse. Kind of similar.
Oh, that was the blue people avatar? It wasn't Aang? My bad.
To how Lego Fortnite did it, because if you didn't know, Lego's pretty much everywhere. It just got another game mode, which is Lego Brick Life. I didn't really play it, I don't really know what it's about, and I have no idea if people actually like it, but it is a new Lego game mode, which really shows that Lego has definitely paid a lot of money to Epic Games to create these game modes, and especially with all the skins now having to have a Lego variant, which is kind of annoying. It leads to a lot of skins from the past.
This was a problem at the start of 2024, where people, like, the item shops were very repetitive and people felt that like the only skins they were putting in were skins that got Lego versions, and then over time they updated the skins to have more Lego versions, and then the item shops became more diverse. I don't know if that is the case, like that's the reason why, you know, but it seems to be the case that it was like limited Lego skins resulted in item shop being stagnant. That's one of the biggest knocks against the metaverse thing. It's been solved. You know, it's not a problem anymore. But even then, the item shop being stagnant is not a huge deal to me as a player.
Has not being brought back, but it's not that big of a deal. So because of Lego being such a big part of the game now, I could see a lot of other brands out there joining in on this.
Like, the problem was the Lego mode dropped, and then there was like 5 years of Fortnite skins that needed to have Lego variants. Like, now that they've caught up, it's not as big of a deal. When a new skin comes out, it also gets a Lego version. It's not that big of a deal, but like getting that backlog to work was just a lot of work.
Ecosystem expansion, who knows? But the biggest thing that really makes this game turn into Roblox is their whole focus on the metaverse. They've said it before, they want to make this game turn into Roblox. That's their whole goal. If you love Battle Royale and you want that to be the main focus, well, I'm sorry, that probably won't be the biggest focus for Fortnite in these next
I completely disagree.
years, which is unfortunate in many ways, but
I think they will go where the players are. I don't think Battle Royale is going anywhere anytime soon. And this is the main thing I wanted to talk about with this video. I was hoping he would get to this because this is the complaint people have against the metaverse is they added all these game modes and there's creative maps that are brain rot. Therefore, Battle Royale isn't going to get support and Battle Royale isn't going to get updates anymore and the game mode is going to die. That has not been the case at all. I did not like Chapter 5. It was my least favorite chapter of Fortnite, but there was updates. There was content. There was like constant balance changes too. Like the Cars season and the Marvel season, a week or two into those seasons, they were rebalancing the OP stuff. If they were just kind of ignoring the game and focusing so much on those other modes, we wouldn't see constant updates like how we did. And I'm someone who's like very affected by whether or not there's updates or whether or not there's long stagnant periods in the game because I make content about the game and updates are one of the main things I focus on. And then also what the update changes kind of affects what my other videos are. So if a week happens and there's just no update at all, that changes what I had planned for that week a lot. And I have to like kind of readjust and think of other videos to make. And throughout all of Chapter 5, like I said, it was not my favorite chapter, but there was good, consistent flow of content aside from like January time. Like the Winterfest was lame. And then kind of into January, the game was pretty stale. But from that point on, the game had content and had updates, and I feel like definitely had attention from Epic. And I feel like a lot of people hated Chapter 5, so they just like, they say, I hated this, therefore there wasn't content, and Epic wasn't paying attention to the game, and they just cared about these other modes. But like, there was content, there was updates. Just because you didn't like it doesn't mean that there wasn't updates and that they weren't paying attention. I feel like as far as balance adjustments go, they did a better job in Chapter 5 more than any other chapter, I think. Like how fast the cars got changed. People disagree with that. Like some people really liked the cars and wanted it to stay, but like they made changes. Same with the Marvel items. Like I like that they nerfed those items. Some people didn't, but it's like clear they did something. Also, the summer update, I don't remember what, like for past years, like 2022 and 2023, when Epic went on summer break, the game basically just like was dead as far as content went. Like it was very dull. It was very boring for that like 2-week period. It was more like 3 because, you know, they come back from break and then they got to introduce things later on. But the summer break during Chapter 5, I don't think was that dull. I think they released Magneto, the heavy impact sniper, and then something else like right before they went on break. And then also reload mode came out. And that's kind of my next point, is that the only game mode that they've introduced that has been successful and kind of kept a player base has been Reload. And Reload is different from BR, but it's still a BR style game. So I don't think that like they're just going to ignore this. And then the idea that they're just going to stop developing BR to please these other game modes. Look at how bad the player count for those game modes has been for as long as it's been. And they still try to like help them, you know? Eventually it got to the point where they phased out rocket racing, but I feel like that was after a year of like less than 2,000 people. Like I don't think Battle Royale is going anywhere at all, and I think during Chapter 5 there was a lot of effort put into the game. The new OG game mode that came out is another BR style game mode. I don't think the player count is that great right now, but as time goes on, I think it will get better. I just think Season 1 is not good.
I'm still sure that Battle Royale will be a big focus anyway. It might just not be the biggest one.
I think it definitely is still the biggest one. By far. Maybe in 10 years it won't be, but I think that's only going to happen if people aren't playing it for like a prolonged period of time. But if it's still the most popular game mode, it's not like they're ignoring Battle Royale and then updating Rocket Racing every week, you know? That just didn't happen, but I feel like that's what people kind of like make it out to be like.
And remember, Chapter 5 was the whole step into this metaverse thing. They really try their hardest to push these game modes into our faces with Festival, Rocket Racing, and LEGO Fortnite. And the one that's really stayed from that group is LEGO Fortnite. That's the one that is the biggest right now, which makes sense. It's a survival
And it's still, like, typically much less than BR player count.
Game, similar to Minecraft. Of course, that would be the biggest one. And then there's Festival, and then Rocket Racing, which, is pretty much dead. I have a higher
Yeah, I think they literally said they're not developing future seasons for it.
sub count than the amount of players in Rocket Racing.
Oof. That's more than I expected. I thought it was like typically 1,000.
Think about that for a second. That is not good, and I'm just a small YouTuber. And honestly, I don't know if Rocket Racing will make it another year, to be honest. But regardless, despite how big of a flop the initial Metaverse game was kinda were, whether you like them or not, it seems like they still are very much focused on this. They're just doing it a bit different this time around. We saw OG become a permanent mode, which
I think this is good. I don't really care to play it very much. I loved Chapter 1. I'll probably check it out every time a season drops, but I don't see myself grinding it, you know? But I think this is something that will keep players throughout the course of years, and every time a season drops for it, I think it'll have a spike in players.
was something a lot of people asked for, but I think they went a step beyond that, adding every single season as a monthly update for the mode, which is great. Then we have Fortnite Ballistic, which is a Valorant Fortnite mode. It's pretty much
So all these game modes, even Battle Royale, it's like when they drop a new mode, they're planting a seed and then they'll like grow it over time and improve it over time. Because like Lego, Festival, Rocket Racing, they all dropped very bare bones. Ballistic dropped very bare bones. And then even Battle Royale, a lot of people hate season 1 because it's so basic and dull and just like, it is what it is. That's how it was in the early days. Like when we started playing in 2017, Battle Royale was not this huge developed thing, but over time it became that. So I feel like that's kind of how all these game modes go. If people play it, they'll support it. If not, they'll kind of phase it out over time, and it's not the biggest deal. I still think the bulk of the work goes into BR by far, and the Fortnite community is just like very weird about any other game mode getting attention in a way that's bizarre to me because, like I said, I don't care about these other game modes.
Step beyond that, adding every single season as a monthly update for the mode, which is great. Then we have Fortnite Ballistic, which is a Valorant Fortnite mode. It's pretty much Valorant, you can't deny that. It kind of just looks like Valorant, especially the UI, which is cool, and this is a shooter, again, just like OG mode.
I think this one has potential to grow.
Then we have LEGO Brick Life, and this is just LEGO Fortnite, but something different. And of course, this is not that different from the initial game modes we got in 2023, but content-wise, it still looks like it has more than the Chapter 5 ones did. And as a whole, I believe these Metaverse game modes have been received a lot better, because they are a lot better. They have way more content and have way more polish than the other game modes did.
And they're just things that appeal to the Fortnite BR audience. Like, if you're playing Fortnite before those other game modes added, you probably enjoy like combat PvP style gameplay. Like these are all shooters, whereas like I don't know about Brick Life, actually, never mind, but ignore that one. Like all the other game modes they've added that are doing okay are shooters. The ones that they added initially weren't shooters, and I feel like that's why they don't have the most like adoption from the regular Fortnite audience.
And they actually feel complete for the most part. Whereas Chapter 5 ones kind of just felt like a skeleton of a game.
That's
it
what
just
I said.
Didn't feel like
I think even Ballistic and the launch of Battle Royale itself in 2017 felt that way.
they had enough time to complete them, ending up with a product that is kind of half finished. And with the new game modes we got, it really seemed like they locked in and really created something way better. And due to this positive reception, I'm sure they will go forward and make even more game modes. And we've gotten a lot of leaks showing a lot of these code names for a bunch of game modes that are about to release at some point, probably a lot of them next year. And I don't know if I saw it right, but I think I might have seen 20 game modes about to be added, which is an absurd number. And this, in my opinion, opinion, really shows that this game is truly turning into Roblox 2.0. But is this actually a good thing for the game? Well, I'd say for the most part, yeah. The ability to have all these game modes be given for us for free, which are for the most part high quality, is kind of insane. This kind of generosity is not very common within the gaming industry these days, since a lot of
it's not generosity, they just want to capture different players and keep maybe some of the other players that lost interest in BR entertained in a different way.
Game franchises are just becoming more and more predatory towards money and just want to suck up as much from your wallet as possible. And having this freedom is great because let's say Battle Royale is horrible for one season, well then you can move towards another game mode.
Like Reload was a good example of that. Like a lot of people started playing Reload because they didn't like Wrecked.
Like Reload or OG, which is also great for Epic because now they have other game modes to fall back on, so they don't have to worry that hard about Battle Royale flopping. But of course, one worry is the fact that Battle Royale will be pushed aside and not be a big focus at all in the future, and I believe it will have less focus. I don't think this will be the most popular game mode within Fortnite in maybe 4 years.
I disagree. Like, I think it'll still keep getting focused. I don't think that's changing at all. Whether or not BR will still be the most popular game mode in 4 years, I think so, but I could see myself being wrong there.
Because of that, they're likely to focus their money and their development.
But like, that's a future problem. Like, people are acting like this is happening now, where like these game modes happen so BR gets less attention. I think if in the future BR falls off and like some new thing is the hot thing, then at that point, maybe it'll get less attention, but that's not happening currently because those other game modes have no players, and it's not even close.
Developing budget on the game mode that is actually doing way better. But I don't think Battle Royale is going to go away anytime soon, as long as they actually put a lot of effort within it and don't put out a bunch of garbage. But we'll just have to see what the future holds.
I think Chapter 6 is quite good
For Fortnite, and it's going to be really interesting to see. And I'm very excited to see what these other game modes are going to be. And while I'm sure most of them won't be for me, there probably will be one or two that fit perfectly for my kind of preferred genre. But with that said, people, that's it for the video. Make sure to
Alright, his channel will be linked down in the description below. Give this a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to him if you enjoyed it. I thought it was mainly going to focus on BR not getting attention because that's been a talking point for the past like year that just kind of tilts me. Like I said, people didn't like Chapter 5, so they act like it didn't get attention, and I feel like that's just not true. I think it got a lot of attention. It was just never really in that good of a spot because the attention they gave it was rough, like the cars and, you know, superpowers and stuff. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.